Greetings and salutations. 13 love, 13 wisdom, 13 knowledge, 13 respect. In the words of the 13th son, I'd like to add 13 provision, 13 protection. Listen, y'all, it's the Laughing Buddha, man. I just came across this story, video. As you can tell, excuse me, I'm just waking up. But so this is what moved me. But anyway, the title of it is The Unheard Flipside of the Deadbeat Dad Story. Now, we know that this is the major story or the major narrative within the so-called black community, but also now with this whole, battle of the sexes continuing since ever, all men are beginning to get this stigma. However, the statistics show and demonstrate that the so-called black man is the best dad, statistically. However, society believes and told we are the worst. So this is Dr. Hassan Campbell, excuse me, Dr. Hassan Johnson. And so check him out, give him some views. Watch the whole interview on his clip. We're just going to deal with this one and highlights. And without further ado, here we go.
Speaks to shout out to Jaggy Watcher. I see you in the archery. I see you in there, man. Because I think this one is a little different. There's two videos here I want you to look at. One is about 1.5 minutes. The other one's just under 2. But these are two different women. And what they're highlighting is something I've been saying for years and, arguing with people about.
And this is what we've all been doing individually, but this is the power of media. This is the power of propaganda.
Particularly in the black community. One of the most popular narratives in the community has been the deadbeat dad, right? This has explained the absent father dynamic going back to the 1960s at least, right? The idea that black men are just deadbeat dads. Now, we've talked for years about the data in regard to men's participation in family, and we find that black men tend to be the best fathers. We know that that's reported. A lot of people don't like to hear it because...
Exactly. And this is reported by the United States government agencies. I think the CDC and some other agencies. So
it goes against the deadbeat dad narrative. But one of the things I've also been saying is I'm not arguing that there haven't been deadbeat dads, but I am arguing that there's another dynamic that gets no acknowledgement. And that dynamic is the power that women have been extended by family courts in particular, but also law enforcement, to impose against black men within the family.
Hey,
and this is a method that they've used for years to secure a position of authority and decision-making in black families, most particularly. But this goes across, Shout out to Cyrus Burke. Appreciate the...
It is significant because you can best believe, to my Caucasian brothers, Asians and Mexican, Latino, so forth and so on, right? We've always been the canary in the coal mine. We're always the petri dish in which they run the experiment. And then you guys sit by with your silent fucking agreement. And then once they perfect it, they do it to you. It never fails. It always happens. I don't care what it is. Financially, look at the country now. All y'all, what you're mad about is you're like, damn, I'm living like a nigga. That's what's making it. That's what hurts.
$100 cash app. Appreciate that generous donation. Thank you. But anyway, so we're going to look at 2 videos that call this thing into question because women will not, in many ways, acknowledge that they've been extended powers that men don't get. Through courts, through law enforcement. They've learned to kind of chalk this up as their own kind of strength, their own kind of power, and they beat their chest about how powerful they are, and so on and so forth. But men understand this is not a power women innately have. This is a power that's been granted to them by the state, right? Particularly as it relates to families.
Exactly.
Right? So here's the first video, and listen to what she says. Now she's admonishing women. Both of them are, but
which is interesting. And all praises to the Most High because it is time. We'll get into it.
They're in admonishing women. we're starting to hear women admit to these abilities and a lack of accountability with
our kids why they was. So y'all go ahead and y'all tell y'all kids why they was born. Tell your daughter, your son, they were born because you was trying to be vindictive and evil and nasty to your baby daddy. Tell your kid how you wasn't born out of love. You wasn't born because me and your dad wanted you. You were born because you were a meal ticket and your daddy had money. Tell your kid how every time you turn around, you are pulling him or her away from their daddy because you're mad at him because he don't want to do something that you want him to do.
Preach.
Tell your kid how they didn't get the quality time or the full daddy effect because you were so upset that this man didn't want you, or this man is dating somebody else. Or this man does not care nothing about you. Tell your kid that. Tell your kid how you are the reason why they don't have the relationship that they should have with their dad. Tell your kid, own y'all shit. Because y'all sit and y'all do this stuff and y'all pull all these little games and play all these little games, and then y'all sit and try to act like y'all don't understand, y'all don't know why your kid don't have a relationship that they would want to have with the dad. No, tell your kid that you had that baby despite that man telling you that he did not want the baby and he wasn't going to be there for the kid.
Tell the truth.
And you still decided with your selfish ass to have the baby anyway. So y'all go ahead and y'all tell y'all kids why they was born. Tell your daughter, your son, they were born because.
That's where it cut off. Shout out to child support is fraud. But again,
child support is fraud though. That shit goes against the Constitution. But hey, final child support payments days do come. Hold hope, man. Let me tell you something. I know you might be numb. That's how man. That's how I made it through it. Okay? Man, you just keep handling your business, man. And just be patient. Okay? Look at yourself like Houdini escaping from a straitjacket. Okay, now the more you struggle and get emotionally mad, motherfucker, the tighter it's gonna get, and you just gonna be upset. And it ain't shit you could do. You gonna have to deal with the straitjacket. But if you calm down and just slowly move here, twist there, the motherfucker will be loosening. Next thing you know, you look up, you out that motherfucker. So anyway, hey man, shout out to all the dads, man. Shout out to all the great moms who are filled with the wisdom of the Most High and of love, because God is love and love is God, right? So shout out to all the moms that are filled with the spirit of the Most High and never do none of this dumb shit, right? They really understand family. Even if the two parents aren't in the same relationship anymore, isn't it interesting when we can see those who still maintain a sense of, yeah, you were somebody significant in my life. I'm not just going to treat you like an asshole or like the bum on the street. You know what I mean? You know, or like a motherfucker that did me harm. Like, no. You are a beautiful segment of my life. There's still an extension and the evidence of the beauty that we shared. And look at the evidence of the love that we had and brought into the world. I could never hate you. In fact, I'm still in your corner. You know what I mean? They couldn't work it out on whatever that shit is. Women say they grow, whatever the fuck. Dudes, whatever. People are people. Everybody's on this journey. We all come here alone. God gave us all our own path. Whenever we can come together and blend on this dark-ass planet, because Earth is cold than the motherfucker. It's heartless. So, hey, say, if you get anybody, I don't give a fuck what they look like. If you are bleeding in the street and everybody walking by you, I don't give a fuck if Quasimodo is the one to come by and show you some mercy and give you a drink of water and tend to you, make sure you all right. Motherfucker bring you to their house. Hey man, we got to get back to loyalty. All right. It's early in the morning. I'm usually in my meditations, but I wanted to share this because this is a real thing. Okay? This is the motherfucking Bigfoot. This is the evidence of the Bigfoot that we have been saying, the men have been saying for what the fuck is a centuries. Because a decade is 10 years, 100 is a century, at least a century. We men have been saying, hey, look at this bullshit. Everybody's like, I don't see it, but yeah, right, nigga. Bigfoot, come on. All right, hey, man, may you never want for what you need, and may you never need what you want. It's the 13th one, man. It's the Laughing Buddha, one of them ones. Often imitated, never duplicated, but most loved and respected. Marquez the Great.